is our guest speaker today. And Dave is a former teacher, coach, administrator, and he's retired, and he got into the business of writing books about high schools and high school programs. And this summer, he did a study, and I'll let him go into everything, but he did a study about finding some schools in the middle of America. And he picked Highway 83. And he started up at the top of Highway 83, which goes from the Canadian border all the way to the Texas border. And he researched every school along those ways. And he narrowed his process down to 3. And he spent a lot of time here this fall. He talked to a lot of kids in the school, not just football players. And his book is about, he's going to explain, is about his experience at these 3 schools and their communities and what he found. I've had the privilege to deal
with what I've seen around here, the peer pressure is extremely positive. You guys support each other. You know, when I talk to other schools around the area, when I was working on this research, I talked to a couple coaches, a couple principals. You know they hate you guys. You know that? Yeah. Why do they hate you? Huh? You what? Jealous of what? You kick their butts. You know, I read the paper, just about everything. Be proud of that. Support each other. I was really impressed with the support I saw here. You don't need games here at McCook High School. You got a game, and everybody belongs to it, hopefully. And if you don't, I hope some of you, as I used to tell my leaders in my building as a principal, I hope some of you have the character and leadership to try to pull those people in. Make them feel like they're supported. Everybody wants to belong. Okay, I told you I got 2 kids. Well, my son's 27, my daughter's 23. I was the head boys basketball coach at El Dorado High School in Wichita, Kansas. Coach Grossman knows a little bit about the area. In the late 80s and early 90s, our basically was to tell you, number 1, how impressed I am with this community. Number 2, to tell you, I hope you realize how lucky you are to live in a community such as this. These things don't just happen. There's been a lot of good people that have put a lot of time, a lot of planning, and a lot of their lives into making this the school system it is to give you the opportunity that you have. And I think you probably hear that, but you don't hear it from an outsider. Okay? I don't know you guys anything. Nobody here owes me anything, so I'm not going to come in here, you know, and blow smoke. I mean, I'm going to tell you exactly the way I see it. But I think this would have been a great place to be a kid. I don't have one problem here. Okay? This would be my problem. I live in the city. When I was a kid, I could run 3 or 4 different girls at the same time. You know what I mean? 3 or 4 makes you feel good, but I don't care if you scored a touchdown on Friday night, won the game, or you're the best hacky sack player in the school, or whatever it may be. If it's illegal, you need to support it. You need to support your classmates. That was kind of the 3rd reason that I was here today, was to make that particular point. If you are a leader, I challenge the people who feel like they do not belong to get in here and do what needs to be done, to give them that feeling of oneness, because I feel it in this school, but you can always do better. There's always somebody out there. It's simple human courtesy. It's simply being a good person and doing the right thing. You know, that's the one thing I learned over the school years. I didn't have any rules. I had 1 rule. And of course, we had a big book of rules and lawyers and all that. I had 1 rule: do the right thing. You know what the right thing is. I'll guarantee you do. I did when I was your age. I didn't choose to do it most of the time because it was too darn hard and I had too much fun doing other things. Well, like I said, I was kind of lucky I got out. You know what's right and you know what's wrong. What's really scary to me, just a couple of minutes and we'll wrap this up, what really is scary to me is kids your age can make 1 poor decision and it's going to affect you for the rest of your life. You can be the best kid that's ever been raised in this school. You can make 1 poor decision Friday night. It could affect your life, it could cost you your life, and it can definitely affect your family. I'll tell you a quick story. I had a kid that played for me about 8 years ago that graduated. And he was a good kid. He was a hard-nosed kid. He was a tough kid. He came from kind of a bad background. His mom tried. She was a single parent. He had a drinking problem. We knew he drank quite a bit. But we thought we gave him activities. He was very athletic. And I had good memories of him. He was on state championship team, and it was just a good time. So I've got real good memories. His name's Anthony Cruz. You can look it up on the internet. Can't tell lies anymore. Everybody just get on the internet, see what's going on. But anyway, he joined the Army after high school. And I thought that's the best move in the world for him because it'll give him the discipline he needs. And he came back after basic training. He came over to my office, and he had a bunch of awards. He was just proud as could be, and he was the platoon leader. And like I said, he was a tough kid. And that's what they look for in basic. I mean, he could take the chewing, and pretty soon he was the leader. And I thought, this is great. This is just what he needed. About a year and a half later, he's stationed in Washington. His mom calls me like 2 o'clock in the morning on a weeknight. When the phone rings at 2 o'clock in the morning, it's pretty scary. And she says, we finally got hold of Anthony. I said, what are you talking about? I said, well, we're trying to get hold of Anthony. We haven't been able to. And she said, we finally got hold of him. I said, well, what's wrong? She said, well, he's in the brig. I said, well, what did he do? She said, well, he got him for first-degree murder. I said, first-degree murder? What did he do? She said, well, we don't know yet. We're going to find out the details. What happened was he and his bunkmate got drunk. And even though he was only 19 years old on these military bases, they'll let you drink as long as you stay on the military base. He got drunk, and the day before, his bunkmate had been in a fight with another soldier. And somehow when they were drunk, they came across a soldier that his bunkmate had a conflict with, and the soldier had a knife in him, stuck in him dead. So Anthony, his buddy, ran away, and they caught him about 5 hours later. His blood alcohol content was still 2.4. So who knows how drunk he was when this actually happened. He had no memory of anything. And his buddy told him, his bunkmate said, you killed him. So, when the MPs caught up with him and interrogated him, the whole deal, he confessed. He didn't have any memory of what he did at all. And I remember they appointed him a lawyer. When you're in the military justice system is completely different from civilian. There's a lot of rights you don't have when you're in the military. And I talked to his military appointed lawyer, and he said, hey, he's screwed. He said he confessed. He said, we got 2 things going to happen here. 1, he's going to get life without parole. Or 2, he's going to get life with the possibility of parole in a minimum of 20 years. He'll have to serve at least 20 years. So that's the best we can do. So we went out and we testified, character witnesses, and the whole deal. He got life with parole. And he's in Leavenworth Penitentiary in Kansas right now, in Northeast Kansas. And he will be there for at least 20 years. He was 20 years old when they convicted him. The best case scenario is he's going to sit in the cage until he's 40. Probably the best years of your life. From the age of 20 to 40, he's just basically going to sit in the cage. In the military, there's no training, there's no rehab or any stuff. I present this to you. I want you to know I really appreciate this community, and I want to tell you guys something. The first book I did on Roosevelt High School was an inner city school where I grew up. And these guys in here still get emails. They have people Googling them. They've got girls writing them letters. If you're in this book, people are going to read this 4 or 5 years from now. I'm telling you, this thing going to sell well. You're going to have people Googling you saying, well, what happened to so-and-so? What's he doing? So you got a lot to live up to. Okay, you got a lot to live up to. It's my pleasure to present this to you. I really enjoy it. Appreciate everybody's help. Thank you. Last thing I would say is always this first year I haven't been either a teacher or a student or a coach or something in 50 years. But I always want to tell the seniors at the end of the year, the rock group, the Eagles, had a big hit in the late 70s called Hotel California. And one of the lines said you can check out, but you can never leave. And that's what's going to happen to all of you over the next few years. Many of you are going to leave. Many of you are going to check out, but you're never going to leave. You're always going to be McCook Bison. So wherever you go, whatever you do, you've got people